Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast, where we bring you unique insight and analysis behind your favorite teams at the collegiate and professional levels. I'm your host, Chase Yance. To my right, I got Brady. What's up with you, Brady?
Man, not too much. Just really appreciate Tyvis for coming on, and excited to have a former Buckeye on the show, and ready to talk some football.
Most definitely, man. Tyvis Powell, the special guest of tonight. Thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thank y'all for having me, man. Anytime that people provide me with a space to, talk about sports and just about football and period. I don't take it for granted. So I appreciate you guys for, extending the hospitality and let me come in and just talk.
Man, most definitely, man. You always got a place on this show for sure, man. This is dope for having you on and all that. So let me just jump into this, man. All right. So you're from the Cleveland area, the 216 rep and all that, Give us a little background right there, Guardians hat, like playoff team. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, give us a little background about yourself, all right?
Well, I grew up in obviously I was born in Cleveland. I grew up and went to Bedford High School. And when I was about in the 10th grade, I was about to quit sports. I was actually done. Because nobody from Bedford was going like D1. So I was like, well, what's the point of me continue to play? And I'm talking not just football, like all sports. I ain't really see nobody going nowhere, like D1, I should say.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the point of me continue to do this if I'm not gonna get no scholarship? So let me go get this job so I can get these J's that's coming out. I could be fitted. That's what I was into. But then we had a coaching change, and this man by the name of Sean Williams came in as a coach, as a head coach, and he found me and was like, yeah, if you continue to play, like I can get you a scholarship and stuff like that. And, I didn't believe him at first, but I ended up coming to one little practice that they did. And I actually had a lot of fun and I never left. And it was actually a good decision. So I ended up getting a scholarship to Ohio State. And yeah, that's kind of how life went for me.
Man, that's dope, man. From the 216 Bedford High School, man, that's some dope stuff for sure, man. That's, everyone has a different come up and all that stuff and has different stories, but a lot of guys, have that different side of things, but end up at Ohio State, man. Brady, take this one away.
All right, so rolling into more of the Ohio State experience. So, just what did it mean to be a Buckeye, and just describe your experience. Was it positive? Which I'm assuming it was, won a national championship, best defense in the country for most, pretty much every year you were there, at least talent-wise and product-wise. So just let me know any of that stuff.
So being a Buckeye, obviously, when they won it all in 2002, I always told, I was at my grandmother's house. I was probably in like the second grade or something, first or second grade. And I'm like, yeah, I want to go to Ohio State. I'm going to go to Ohio State. So it was something that I always, I started playing football at like 9 years old, and it was just something that I always wanted to go to Ohio State, and I always wanted to go to the NFL. So when I got the Ohio State offer from Jim Tressel himself, right before he resigned, which was the greatest, it was sad that he resigned, but I was thankful that he gave me the scholarship offer because I don't think Urban would have gave me the offer just off of him, period, alone. So I get to Ohio State, through all this hard work that I did in high school. And, I finally achieved the dream. I could call myself a Buckeye, right? And I get there. Obviously, Jim Tressel's gone. Urban's the new coach at this time. And I got complacent with the fact that it's like when you set a goal and you hit the goal and it's like, I did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I accomplished it. Well, the problem was I never reset my goal after I got there. So I got complacent and I fell in love with the fact of just being a Buckeye. And I'll start watching players pass me by. I started watching the freshmen that I came in with that class. A lot of them got on the field as freshmen and started playing. And I fell into the doghouse with Coach Meyer because he's looking at me like, you got all this talent, but yeah, you're not playing. Like, so why are you here? You're not going to play. Why are you here? That was his thing. And Urban did a really good job of making you feel unwanted when you wasn't doing things. He made you very, very uncomfortable. It would be like I'm walking down the hallway and I'll see him and I say, "What's up, coach?" And he just walked past me like I didn't say anything. It was like that. It was that type of thing. So a lot of people, for the most part, a lot of people kind of, if he did that to you, you get some animosity towards him. It's like, forget this dude. Like, what's wrong with you? Right? But to me, it became inspiring. And after my freshman year, I redshirted my freshman year. And it took him a long time to, come up with the decision to redshirt me, because he would say, like, you're right there. Like, we can't figure out if we want to use you or not. You're like this close. And they decided to redshirt me that year anyway. So after that season was over with, I remember they had a conversation with me, basically saying, you might need to look into transferring out of here, because we might not, you might be in over your head, right? And I just remember going back to my dorm. I never forget the day. I never forget the day. I went back to my dorm. Now my dorm, it was me, Cardell, Pat Elfline, and Bryante Dunn. But me and Pat shared the same room. So Pat Elfline is in his bed watching TV, and this is like, it had to be like 10 o'clock at night. I took a long walk around campus. I came back in the room at 10 o'clock at night. And I got in my bed. I didn't say anything. And I started crying. And Pat looked at me like, "Is you okay?" And I didn't say anything. So I woke up that next day, and I made the decision, like, you know what? If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out like Tony Montana. I'm going out shooting. That's where I'm at. I'm not about to just walk out of here. Like, if I'm going out, I'm going out shooting. Right?
Got that right.
So I changed my whole mindset. I'm like, extra stuff, anything extra. At this point, I needed to get bigger, faster, stronger, like spaz. It's coming into winter. It's like winter time. So obviously the last season's over with. We're into winter workouts. So now I'm in what I need to do, coach. I'm going to the strength coaches. What do I need to do? I'm watching tape. Like, what else I need to do? What y'all need to see from me? And luckily, I had guys, putting their arm around me, just trying to walk me through the process. I had some strength coaches. I never forget my coach, Parker. He's actually the assistant strength coach there now. Yep. He's the one that kind of took me under his wing. Like, come on, you're going to go to practice. When you get done with practice, come back in the weight room. You're going to lift. We're going to get you right. So I ended up just developing this mindset that I'm going to outwork everybody, because I have to make this work, and it's different. I'll get into this later, but it's different. My mindset and how things are today in society is totally different. Because to me, it was, I had to go pro, because I was trying to take care of my family, and this was literally the only shot we had. Like, if I don't make it, we messed up. We done. So I put that in my mind. Like, I'm doing this. It's not about me. It's about my family.
Right.
Eventually that spring, I ended up earning the start nickel spot. And it was pretty cool to get that, because Coach Mick, who's the head strength coach, he was the first one. He pulled me up in front of the whole team and was like, "This guy has earned the right to be the start nickel here." And Coach Meyer kind of echoed those same things to the team, and it was nice to know that hard work really does pay off. That was kind of the message. So I ended up starting that next season at nickel for the whole season, and then eventually moving back to safety. And I ended up getting it. Obviously, I made a couple of key plays, so I got on Coach Meyer's good side, where he would actually pull a chair up and have lunch with me from time to time, and we had conversations. So I say all that to say, my experience started off terrible, but I finished really good.
Yeah. Hey, I love it. And I feel like that's a common theme among the Urban Meyer saga at Ohio State, is the good players, if they, as a freshman, usually, unless you're a 5-star that he's gonna, suck up to a little bit, you're probably not gonna be on his good side at the beginning.
Right.
Based on what I heard. But that's, once you picked off what's his name, Devin Gardner, whatever his name is.
I was a hero then,
That's when you became Urban's favorite child after that game.
All right. Man, that was Brad Nessler literally on the call, said, "Man, saved the season right there for the Buckeyes." Man, that was big time right there. But, man,
my fault.
Oh, you cool, man. You cool. But man, obviously, like, you made, some big plays at Ohio State, 2 that literally live in the minds of all the Buckeye fans all over the place. But you were surrounded by a lot of talent yourself, a ton of talent. And this maybe doesn't go to the piece about, the talent portion, obviously around like Von Bell, Eli Apple, Garyon Conley, a lot of those guys who we just had on a couple weeks ago. Man, but who was the best teammate you've ever played with at Ohio State? Just like who was that guy you was just clicking with all the time? It was like,
Oh, hold on, because see this. It's a lot of people there. It's a lot.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, you can answer this anyway, man.
The thing that made it so great, I think I clicked well with all my teammates, but to be honest with you, it's not one guy in particular that I can just point out, because I think that's what made us such a special defense, is that we all worked together a lot. So the way we did it was we did field and boundary. So Vaughn and Eli and Darren Lee always worked together because they were always to the field. To the boundary, it was me, Duran, or me and Garyon and Josh Perry. We all was in the boundary. Plus we had Joey Bosa on our side. So we was good. We was good there. So
that was tight.
That side was pretty good. So I think to answer your question, due to the fact that I work with this pretty much the same guys throughout the whole thing, I can't just pick one guy. I would pick my whole side. So I would pick a Duran, Josh Perry, Joey Bosa, and Garyon. And me and Vaughn also had like this thing where I'll break it down for you. So our base defense, we ran cover 4. Cover 4 is our base thing. We ran like a pattern match. So college football has gone to the spread. So it's 2x2. 2x2 or 3x1 almost every play. So I'm always to the boundary. If it's 2 guys to my side, I'm responsible for number 2.
Right.
If number 2 goes vertical, if he after 10 yards, if he goes anything after 10 yards, he becomes my player. If he goes anything under 10 yards, I drop him. I look to help the corner, or I look to go back to the field. So early on in my career, when they would go 2x2 and 2 would remove himself from the play for me, my eyes will always go to help the corner. But my last season at Ohio State, me and Vaughn talked, and I realized that teams would do that. They realized what we were doing, and they would purposely remove number 2 from my side because they thought I would go help the corner. But I advanced my game by starting to go to the middle of the field, because they were post routes on Vaughn. They'd try to get Vaughn to open up, and then they'd run the post route. So I started flipping. Me and Vaughn had a conversation. I was like, Vaughn, you know what? Forget that. The corner, we got lockdown corners out there. They should be good. I'm gonna help them from now on. And it started allowing us to, make these plays in the middle of the field. So me and Vaughn had that connection as well. So I definitely throw him in there. So to answer your question, in totality, it's Vaughn, Duran, / Garyon, Josh Perry, and Joey.
That's a very meaty answer for sure, man. Meaty answer. I love it. Love it. I got to ask this, though, before I pass it over to Brady, all right? So I'm wearing this Sunday shirt, all right? Sweatshirt, all right? Bengals fan, all right? Von Bell is a free agent. What do you think he's going to do? Is he going to go back to the Bengals? Is he going to go somewhere else? What do you think's going to happen with him?
You know what? I should send him a text message and ask, what you got going on? My thought would be, Vaughn's probably gonna go back to Cincinnati. He's I hope. Yeah, I would think he would. I think it is in his best interest. I don't think he's gonna break the bank. No, Vaughn is one of those safeties that's a very solid safety. I'm not saying he's all pro right now or anything like that, but where from his play, I think if they're not going to pay Jesse Bates, then they can at least afford to pay him, because Vaughn's not going to break the bank. Plus, on top of that, Vaughn is a captain of that team. You don't want to get rid of a captain like that and a guy that's been there and has been very productive. He sets the tone with hits. He makes big plays in the interception game. I don't think you want to lose a guy like that. So I think the Cincinnati Bengals find a way to take care of him, and he stays there.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. I had to just ask that, get my little Bengals take in.
Yeah.
Brady, you got it.
Man, but I was going to say, you're a Browns fan, right?
I am.
Okay, I knew that.
I'm employed by them too, so I grew up a Browns fan as well.
Right.
Yep.
I figured you'd been a lifelong Browns fan based off of, where you grew up, and just like on Twitter, I know you always you root for the Browns, ride or die, even if
I got some hot takes on there every now and again.
Yeah, for sure. But I love it because we all it's funny because the three on here all like a different AFC North team because I'm actually a Steelers fan, NFL.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Steelers fan, Bengals fan, Browns fan. We just need a Ravens fan to,
Well, we can find one.
We can find one. Now, right now, they kind of trying to figure out what's going on with that whole Lamar situation. So a lot of people ain't really
yeah
right now.
Right.
Hide behind their feathers for sure. Shit.
For sure. Man, but I couldn't agree more with that. They better pay him soon or else they're gonna upset their entire fan base and wonder what's going on.
That Lamar situation is tough because I think both of them are both parties, meaning Lamar and the Ravens, are just doing business. They making business decisions. With Lamar, he made the business decision of after he got hurt, he's like, I'm not coming back on that field and about to further hurt myself.
Right.
Y'all not gonna take care of me. So I think that was the business decision he made, and I think they retaliated by making a business decision by giving him this non-exclusive tag.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's willing to parlay 2 first-round picks for him, then obviously you'll take that. You go out there and see what you really are worth. Are people really willing to give you that contract that you desire? And if so, that's great for you. We get 2 first-round picks. Everybody wins in that deal. But if not, then you're stuck here for another year. And if you ball out, then everybody will take care of you anyway. So I think from a business standpoint, I think both parties are doing exactly what they're supposed to do.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. I think it makes sense for sure, like from an off the record perspective, because obviously I'm not affiliated with the Ravens. Actually,
either, but I just from the outside looking in, I think both of them are moving exactly how they supposed to move.
For sure. No, I agree for sure. But just to move on, but to stay in the Ohio State Buckeye realm. What was and if you had to pick, because this has got to be tough. You played in a lot of great games throughout your years. What is your favorite game you played in throughout all of your years of the Buckeye?
Okay, my favorite game I played in. Now it's sad because from a grade standpoint, so after every game you get a grade,
right?
Percentage grade of how well you did.
Yeah,
the best game that I've ever graded in, we lost. So I take that one. I throw it out the window. I graded a 99%. Of course, we lose the game, so I won't say that one.
What game was it?
The Michigan State loss.
I figured.
Flawless. I played flawless in that.
If Zeke would have got the ball a few more times, you could have said that game because of your flawless performance.
It was some coaching things going on in that game.
Man.
My God. QB sweep every play on offense. Like, why are we running JT lateral when we have
the question is we still need to know the answer, but I don't like to think about it no more because it pisses me off every time I think about it. But my favorite game we played actually was when we played Penn State in 2014, and we went in a double overtime, and Joey Bosa had the walk-off sack.
Exactly.
The reason why that game was my favorite game, it's a lot of reasons. Obviously, we won the game. It was in Happy Valley in a hostile environment. But what I really liked about it is we had lost to Virginia Tech, and I can't remember if they were the next game or a couple of games later. But after we lost to Virginia Tech, a lot of people was like, "Well, it's over with for the Buckeyes. Better luck next year." Type
right.
And that Penn State game was one of the games that I found out the type of players that I was playing with. Because I think we started off the game, we were up, and then we let them come back. But what I realized is that this team found a way to win games. Like we never gave up. And the most inspiring part about that game was I think JT ended up like spraining his MCL or something like that. Make a long story short, he couldn't run and he wasn't supposed to keep playing, but he said, forget that. I'm going back out there and I'm still playing because these is my guys.
Yeah.
And I think he made like either a game time touchdown or a game winning touchdown by running the ball in. He could not been able to do that.
Yeah.
And it just was inspiring because it just shows you that, as long as I found out that game, that as long as those guys on the field got a pulse in their body, they're never going to give up and they're going to find a way to win that game. And I knew that team was special. So to me, that game was my favorite game because it told me the type of players that I was playing with. It let me know that I ain't the only one. Like, we all out here. We gonna find a way. We ain't losing this game.
That that was a legendary game. Just that was kind of like the turning point of that season. I feel like that's when
it was.
That's when you could tell that it wasn't over, and like you never really gave up hope after that. Like even when we're playing Wisconsin without our quarterback, that JT had a really good year that year from what I remember, especially for having to step in for Braxton, who, if I remember correct, was at least top 3 for Heisman frontrunner preseason. And going against Wisconsin, Cardale dropping back, throwing 80-yard touchdowns to Devin Smith.
Man, gotta love it.
It was some Madden stuff going on that game.
It was Madden stuff. That was ridiculous. Joey Bosa had like a strip sack touchdown.
He did, didn't he? He sure did.
Yeah. Yeah, on Melvin. I think it was on Melvin Gordon, actually.
I think they stripped Melvin and he picked
Yeah.
Man, I gotta mention this though. The game after the Wisconsin game, obviously you had the interception in the game against Alabama. All right, that was in the in the little hype video we had posted out there on Twitter. Now, this isn't really a question. This is just what I remember when that play happened on ESPN. It was me, my dad, and my brother. We're sitting down there. We see the interception. We're going crazy. And then, we're celebrating. And we still see you running. We're like, get down, get down. Get down.
Like, why would you say that?
I wish you would have scored, honestly.
I wish you would have scored, too.
You should have been saying, go, 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 go.
It was like a whole combination of all. We were like, get down. We won the game at the same time. Like, hey, if you score, that's cool. It was a whole, it was a whole thing.
I just had this argument with Josh Perry on the radio about this. He tells me he tells me that I'm selfish. He says that why do you want to do the extra stuff? Like you did your job. Why you? And I explained to him, it's a difference between being good and being great. Being good, I did what I was supposed to do. I made the interception, but being great is taking that thing to the house. That is being great, and I'm pardon me for wanting to be great in this game that I play. Right, so I just think it's about the way you look at it. Now, if I had some guys the problem is everybody was celebrating too early. If somebody would have threw a couple blocks, then I would have scored the thing and we would have won by 14. And it would
That's true.
I was trying to. I don't know what the spread was, but I was looking out for Vegas.
Honestly, though, like if you have that, you had too much. You had too much adrenaline to take a knee. You just got the game-winning pick against Bama, the number 1 team. Big, mighty
facts. That's facts.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Actually, so this is how it went. They throw the ball up, right?
Yeah.
And I picked the thing. Me and Duran both got the ball in our hand. I snatched it from first of all, you ain't got nothing to do with this, so get away from the ball. This ain't your job. My job is to catch the ball.
Right.
And I thought about going down because we drill it literally every Sunday. We in the practice, they throw a Hail Mary, I pick the ball, I take a knee, and that's the end of practice. And I thought about it, but I turn around and Armani Reeves, my teammate, is standing right there, and he like I look and see all that green. He seen all that green. He said, "Come on, we go."
Honestly, though, I remember after the Clemson game in 2020. Well, technically, it was like the 2020 playoff against Clemson when we finally beat them. Sevyn Banks caught at the end of the game.
Yeah, it took off.
Didn't take the knee, just like you. And you tweeted, "We don't take no knee."
It's in the Sugar Bowl. Anytime the Buckeyes play in the Sugar Bowl and it ends with a pick, it's tradition to take it out.
Take it to the
end. There you go.
Try to score
it up for us, man.
Love it.
Oh man, I gotta ask though about this. All right, so with the NFL, you was in the NFL for a decent amount of time and all, with a good amount of teams. How would you break down your time playing in the NFL and briefly in the CFL as well?
I look at it like obviously it was a dream come true. I did a lot of flipping and flopping of positions. So, obviously I come in at Ohio State, I play safety. I go undrafted to Seattle. I start off as a safety but they thought, they looked at me and said, you actually move well enough to play corner. And then obviously Seattle is always looking for those tall corners. They get the Richard Shermans and the Brandon Browners. They always looking for the next guy to come in and, be like those guys. And they felt that I moved good enough. I had the speed to do it. So I had to transition from safety to corner, which is something that not a lot of people do. It's usually the opposite. You come in as a corner, you transfer over to a safety. But in my scenario, it got flipped. And, it's like when I got to the league, once I started getting really good at a position, it's like I would either get cut or they would ask me to go back to another position. So I never really got 100% comfortable and confident at one position, so that was a thing for me. Like, I wonder how my career would have been if I just stayed strictly as a corner or if I stayed strictly as a safety. I think that had a lot to do with it. But what also the thing that I'm grateful for is being able to do those, because it shows versatility. And if the more you could do, the longer you last in the NFL. So I was grateful for that. But what was the coolest thing after I got done and after the NFL was over, I realized that I played every position in the secondary. I played both corner spots, post safety, box safety, and played nickel. So it was like I did it all.
There you go. Shoot.
I was only in the league for 4 years, but I literally did it all.
Right,
man. You can check off a box that not many people could check off, man. Shoot, it was around
cool
the whole thing.
If I ever decide to go into coaching or something like that, I got a little bit more credibility, because it's like I've been in your shoes. I played this position. I'm telling you, I know exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing there. But when I went to the CFL, though, I was only in the CFL for a training camp. I got cut. I was literally the last cut, and it was every time I think about it, it pisses me off because it was. Because I'm gonna tell you why. I come in and I'm starting safety, right? I'm starting safety. So training camp for there is a month long. So you would think, I would say for 3 weeks out of the 4 of the month, I was the starting safety. Okay?
Right.
I led the camp in interceptions. Okay. I got some clips that I'll show y'all. I got pick 6 in practice, everything. I'm killing it, right?
Destroying them. Yeah.
And they come to me, like the last week, and they're basically like, we want to see you. We view you as more of a box safety or a middle linebacker or a linebacker in the CFL. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, like, why would you wait this long to say that? Like if that's the case, if you truly felt that way, why would you wait till now to say that? So as I'm getting cut, as I'm going up there, they say meet you upstairs. So when they tell you meet you, if they tell you they want to see you upstairs, it ain't to talk about the weather. I'm gonna just tell y'all that right now. You know what it is. So I was sitting in the office, and the head coach is sitting there. We having the meeting and all. And at this point, I am this was in 2020. So what? I'm 27 years old. 27 years old, and I'm about to get cut. And what really got me hot, what pissed me off the most about the whole situation, actually it was 21. What pissed me off about the whole situation is that I literally wasted time on my life. Like at this point, I had a daughter already, and I missed my daughter's first birthday because I was doing this CFL stuff. I missed her taking her first steps and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, I was doing something that I love. Financially, it was obviously going to be pretty good financially. It's not a lot of money, actually. It's like $60,000, and then after taxes, it's like $40,000. So it's not really a lot of money.
Right.
But I was upset with the fact that I missed out on stuff that I'll never get back. And you BS me. That's like you BS me, and that's the problem that I had with it. And then, as you sitting there cutting me, you trying to tell me some stuff that don't even make sense. Like you're a linebacker. So really? Why have I been? Not only have I been playing safety, this is the thing. I've been playing DB, and he says that he's like, maybe we just don't think you cover that well. Okay, so I'm like, my response is, I don't cover that well, but yeah, I lead the camp in picks. and So I'm always guarding slot receivers.
Right.
So I'm like, go show me the play where I got beat so bad that you feel like I can't guard a wide receiver. He said, well, we don't. There is no play. You actually play. Your coverage is really good. Like if they catch the ball, it's like I'm swiping at the ball. We both going for the ball, and he just caught the ball. Like that's where we at. And so I'm like that. Okay, so you're lying. So what I found out what it really is is that I didn't get vaccinated, and I told him I wasn't getting vaccinated for it. And
are you kidding? Are you kidding me?
But yeah. So once it became political, like that. That's when I lost my whole taste. And after I got cut, I remember coming back to the States and. Typically I'm a guy that drills and I work out all the time. And like a good week, I had no desire to do anything because the thing that I spent since I was 9 years old, that I sat there and watched tape. I used to study these guys. I used to do all these drills. I used to do, like in college, people would go out on Friday nights and Saturday nights. I would go back to the Woody and be drilling in the Woody, like the stuff that I literally dedicated my whole entire life to be good, just to be good.
Right.
Got thrown away because of some politics. And that it took me for a loop, and I just lost the whole love for the game for that right there. So that's what the time in the CFL has done. I got long-winded on that answer, but I wanted to try to understand where I was coming from with the CFL. So
I'm happy you shared that with us, because now I have a different perspective on some of these coaches for real. Like,
really do.
Let's be honest. If you can start at Ohio State for multiple years, you can start in the CFL easily at safety.
Yeah, man. Like I said, don't worry. I'm gonna show y'all some of these clips.
Y'all gonna
like,
see these.
Because I'm gonna be honest. Like, so I sat out. Let's see. I got cut. My last year in the league was 2019. In March of 2020, I was still with Denver, but obviously, COVID hit, and they had to make roster cuts. They had to go from like 75 to 60 or something like that. So they made people, they had to make some cuts. And I was one of those guys that got cut for that. And I'm sit out the whole 2020 year because it's hard for free agents to get workouts because of the COVID situation. So it wasn't a lot of, it was one of those things that if you started the season off on a team, like if you went through like training camp and stuff like that, you pretty much got cycled around if you got cut, because they know that, there's no outside worries. They know you vaccinated at that point. They know that the COVID protocols and stuff like that. So I sit out all of 2020. I say all that to say 2021, all I did was drill all of 2020. Just drill, waiting for a phone call, waiting on the phone. I didn't work nothing. I just sat there and worked out all the time. 2021 come around. I haven't played the game in a year. So I go, well, I need some tape to get back to the NFL. So I'm going to go to the CFL. And mind you, when I'm drilling and practicing, I'm by myself. There's nobody out there giving me looks or anything like that. So now it's in my head, like, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, I don't know what, like the technique that I'm doing, I don't know if it really works because I don't have nobody to go off of. I'm going off of my imagination. And at this point, I go to the CFL and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I lost a step, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. And to go over there and still be good. I'm talking about like so good that, that my teammates is like, bro, how is you this big and like this? Like, you move like a corner. Like, how you really like good? And I'm like, I appreciate y'all. Like, it lets me know that, the stuff that I've been doing works.
Yeah.
And to get cut off of that stuff, it was, that's that.
I'll tell you this, man. Maybe, playing a linebacker position, maybe they wanted you to get qualified at all the different positions out there.
I might as well start to put my hand on the ground and just been an edge rusher then. That's the case.
Oh, shit.
At that point, man, they might have to put you at receiver at that point as well. Go to the side of the ball.
But I tell you what, as a kid, that's actually where I wanted to. That's the position I wanted to play. My favorite player was Chad Johnson, and I always wanted to be like Chad. So
Receiver.
I used to wear 85 at quarterback, safety, 85, because I was just the best wide receiver this world has ever seen. And then I went to the dark side and never came back.
Man, that's quite the interesting CFL situation, but it sounds like the rest of your career with college and the NFL experience and all that went well. But just to kind of like flip the scenario, how has your journey been? Working for BTN and 97.1 The Fan, and all of that. How has your broadcasting career and your just talking radio gone?
It's I tell people that it's not as fun as playing the game.
Yeah.
It's pretty close because I get a great joy out of teaching people the game. Everybody look at me and be like, you should go into coaching. Like the way you talk and the way you explain things, you should be like a good coach. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I actually like, teaching the average fan. I like to, because a lot of people don't know. They think they know the game, but they don't really know the ins and outs. Like they know the basics of the game and what's supposed to go in. But here I come in and I explain to you, why big plays happen or why it's not the line, why it's not this safety's fault, even though he's close to the ball. Why is it actually the linebacker's fault whose coverage is actually supposed to be?
Right.
I'm explaining what everybody got, and I'm explaining why certain players do what they do on the field and stuff like that. I actually get a great joy out of that because I'm teaching people, about the game of football, and it shows that not only was I just play football, like I actually studied it and I actually paid attention and I asked questions. So it's nice that it's all coming full circle, that it allows me to just teach people and just, be an analyst on the game.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Like I've listened to you a lot. Like just it seems like you enjoy it and like you're really good at it. And like,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, of course, man. Like I feel like you probably get that a lot. Like
no. See, the thing is, I'm never really worried about. I mean, people say good job and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My thing is that I'm trying to perfect it. Maybe it's a couple of things. Obviously, I can clean up things. There's some language that I could use that's better, stuff like that. And I'm always looking to become better at this. And I'm not. So I used to be in my playing career. I used to always never celebrate the things. My mother told me this a few years ago. She was like, "Your problem is you don't never appreciate the now. You always so focused on what's next that you don't take time to celebrate what happened." Like, for example, we win a national championship. In my mind, it's like, all right, let's get back to it next year. It's like, right. But now let's talk about going back next year, going back to back. Like that's just how I am. I'm always thinking about what's next. And with this new profession in this sports media, I'm always right now. What I'm thinking about is perfecting now. I don't want to think about getting the TV. Like right now, I'm on radio and I'm trying to just be the best radio personality that I can be. And that's why I'm always thankful when I get on podcasts, just trying to do the best I can. So right now, I'm trying to give you the best version of Tyvis Powell right here, right now.
Man. Hey, yes, sir. And we appreciate that a lot for sure. Like, the energy you bring and, all the stories you've brought have been like,
fantastic. I'm trying to give you some classified inside the locker room information,
Right.
People need
people
need to know, everybody thinks that, NFL and CFL is just all glitz and glamour, but there's some stories in there that, it's not all great.
Right.
On too. And I don't want people to think that, just because you got to a 53-man roster or because you got an invite or something like that, that everything is good. It's not.
Right.
Actually, when you go undrafted and period, if you're not a first, second, or third round pick, we won't even say third, first or second round pick, playing in the NFL, it's literally a constant grind. It's every day going in there being the best you because they can replace you in the snap of a finger. It's always a guy on the outside that can come in that's hungry and trying to take your spot. And that's real. So you have to find what you are good at. You got to find what is your value. And like I said, Coach Meyer is nuts and he got some crazy ways. And like I say, when I first met him and he did me like he did, I didn't respect it. But now as I got older and I matured, I'm like, it makes sense. What is your value? Why are you here? And now I took that mindset to the NFL. It's like, what's my value on these teams? It might not even be playing safety or corner. It might be being a gunner. It might be making plays on kickoff on special teams. It's just you have to find a value and own it and make it your thing that they need you on that roster. So that's just what the NFL life is.
Most definitely, man.
Right.
It's that it's survive and thrive. It's, you know, have value to what you got to do and all. And, you know, that's just the grind of it, you know, and obviously, you know that very, very well.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna ask you this. All right, you got the Guardians hat on. I need you to put your tourism hat on real quick. All right. So I've never been to Cleveland before. All right.
Really?
I don't even know if Brady's been to Cleveland before. I have no idea. Or
I have, but not for like. I haven't been there for an extended period of time, if that makes sense. I've been there briefly back in the day, but like I haven't been there in a long time. I'll say that.
You go down to the Flash, man. They done redid it up, man. It look nice down there now.
That's kind of where my question is. That's kind of where my question is. All right. So I want to give you this. All right. A place to eat, an event that goes on that, you know, to go to, and a sight to see in Cleveland, Ohio. What you got?
A place to eat. Now, I haven't been there, but I am about to get to go there because I hear everybody ranting and raving, and they say that the Marble Room is like really just like it's a steakhouse. They say it's really like that. Like so, that would be the place that I would tell you to check out because I'm gonna check it out myself.
All right.
An event to go to. I mean, it's a lot of events. I'll if you're into the entertainment thing and you want like the IX indoor amusement park,
I've been there.
You been there?
Really?
See? Look at that.
We might have just talked about that, Brady. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, that's literally
yeah.
It's a good little thing, man. If you can't make it all the way down to Cedar Point, the IX indoor amusement park is right there for you. It's still fun. It ain't it ain't got everything that Cedar Point got, but it's good enough. You know, they got the car show like a couple weeks after that, so you can go see that if you're into the car show.
All right.
And a sight to see in Cleveland. I mean, so let me give you a story about this.
Oh boy. All ears.
So Richard Sherman was coming into town because John Lynch was going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And he invited, you know, Sherm to come down and, you know, just hang out in his tent and stuff like that for the Hall of Fame. So Sherm, no, I live in Cleveland. So he said, yeah, I'm coming. Me and my wife is coming into Cleveland. You know, y'all want to hang out for a day before we go to the thing. Talking about me and my wife. So me and my wife, we picked them up from the airport. And I'm telling Sherm, like, oh, we got to take you downtown so you can see the Cleveland skyline. You can see the Cleveland skyline. So him and his wife gets in the car. We driving, and you know we going on. We on Valley View Bridge. We on Valley View, and if you're on Valley View, you can see downtown. You can see like the skyline. And he look. I said, "Here it come. Get ready." He looks over and he goes, "Is that it? Is that?" Oh yeah. So it ain't too many sights to see in Cleveland, I would say. Actually, I'm trying to think of a nice site. It really ain't. That's what makes Cleveland, though. It's not about it being scenic. It's about the grind. It's hard working people that live in Cleveland. You got to work to be successful.
Blue collar,
scenic stuff.
I'm not even kidding. I was literally going to ask you if you've been to the IX Indoor Amusement Park because that was like the only time I've ever been to Cleveland was because of it.
Crazy. I used to go every year.
It's funny because the reason I went was because it was rainy outside and I was going to go to Cedar Point that day. It was like super it was like a storm. And I was looking at things and I saw that there was an indoor amusement park. I was like, I might have to go there.
Like the song say, it's only here today. It's not going to stay. So you gotta get it when around this time. As a matter of fact, it's about to come up in a couple of weeks.
Hey, we might have to pull up though. We might have to go up there too.
They usually come in the spring, so it's about to come.
Okay, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Might have to come back down. You know, I haven't been there since so I'm a senior in high school right now. So I'm actually going to Ohio State next fall for
congratulations, man. Go Bucks.
Appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. Go Bucks. Like it was an easy decision, you know, visiting campus and stuff. Just taking it out.
I might be a Bearcat next year, but yeah.
Anyway. But
that's probably where I'm gonna go. Yep.
Okay, that's nice. Hey, that's nice. friends from my high school that went to Cincinnati, and they enjoyed
okay.
good time there. So you'll have fun either way. And then I'm sure you two can come visit each other and on each other's campus, and y'all will have fun either way. So
For sure,
yeah, we'll be cool. We'll be lit on there
for sure. Yeah, he's gonna have to come in the student section to some Buckeye games for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you do. Yeah, make sure you.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, do the whole experience. Paint your body up. Put the old guy on there. And
got that right.
For sure. Absolutely. But like it's been, I think it was my freshman year in high school. That's when I went to the IX indoor amusement park, and that was something, bro. I was like, I couldn't believe that there was an indoor amusement park in Cleveland. Like I had no idea.
Like I said, it's been a few years, but I need to get back and check it out.
For sure. No doubt, man. It's an experience for sure. But like I was literally just telling Chase, I was telling him like probably like last week, maybe even this week. I was like, I was asking, I was like, do you know what the IX indoor amusement park is? And he was like, he had no idea because like
none.
It's not like nobody really like knows about it. But then like I literally found it just because Cedar Point wasn't open.
Yeah, because it's not something that it's only there for like 3 weeks. So
yeah,
you got to get to. If you miss it, then you got to wait till next year to see it.
Right.
That's probably why it's not like something that everybody knows about.
Exactly. Yeah, which makes sense for sure. Like man, it's a fun place.
It is.
It is. Like,
I highly recommend it.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely got to try to pull up there, man. But, we've kind of come to the end of the show and everything. Man, this has been dope having you on. Brady, you got any final questions or thoughts you want to give out there to Tyvis?
Man, I just want to, I appreciate you, Tyvis, for coming on, giving us your time, and it was a great episode for sure, giving us your all your experiences and all that for sure. So we appreciate you, no doubt.
No problem, man. Like I say, man, thank y'all so much for just letting me talk. I had a ton of fun. Obviously, we got some laughs here. I got to share some information that people might not know, and hopefully this thing takes y'all to the next level. I don't know if it will or if it won't, but I'm just trying to help you guys, make it to a new level.
Sure.
Man, we appreciate it for sure,
Yeah,
man. You definitely, I'd say you're definitely like the most energetic guest we think we've ever had on, man. That was dope as heck, man.
It's between you and Zach Smith because we had him on too.
Yeah. He got some energy as well for sure.
He does.
All right, man. We really appreciate the time, value all of it for sure, and like that. You guys give this video a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave stuff in the comments, man, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, Tyvis.